What's up? How you doing? Here we are, bright and early Saturday morning. Beautiful day today. No breeze, perfect temperature. And yesterday I went to the Ethiopian market and bought some Ethiopian fine coffee. So I haven't opened it yet, but we're gonna make some today, this morning. Look at this. I love Ethiopian coffee. I'm a big fan of the country of Ethiopia. Very beautiful. Scenery is mind-blowing. One day I'd like to visit there. If we had faster jets, or the distances between the U.S. and Ethiopia were closer, I would have been there by now. But very far, very far. And I don't understand why we have airplanes that can't do 1,000 miles per hour yet. Commercial jetliners. 550 is fast, but it still takes a long time. So I'm waiting for the fast jets, and they're coming. 1,200 miles an hour would be awesome. But we're gonna open this up and take a little smell of it, and then grind it up into little bits and pieces and smell it again. Get it all sealed in here. I may need to cut that, I don't know. I'll be back with a knife. Got one in the truck here, so. All right, I'm back with my Mora knife. I'm a big fan of Mora knives. Big fan. Very sharp. Nothing fancy, but I carry one in the car just in case. They're made in Sweden, but I carry one just in case you're in a collision and in the rare occasion your seatbelt jams. It could happen. You have a knife, cut yourself out. So that smells awesome. That's Amanda. That is good coffee. You could, oh wow. I highly recommend it just by the smell. Just by the smell. That's delicious. That's the kind of coffee you smell in, those fine coffee houses around the city. I'm not talking about Starbucks only. There are people that have coffee houses that are independently owned from Starbucks. And I used to go to them quite often when I was younger. Matter of fact, there was a really nice coffee house in Harvard Square that I would hang around in way back in the late 80s, early 90s there for a bit. I would go there, get a cup of coffee. They even had nice tea, good tea. I know it sounds like a motorcycle, but it's actually a sports car going by. He's not going fast, probably in third gear, but anyway, so I'm gonna go and put it into my grinder. Wow, I am impressed with the smell of this coffee. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of Ethiopian coffee. I believe, it's just my opinion, but I believe that Ethiopian coffee is the best in the world due to the soil, the environment it's grown in. I mean, obviously, Colombia, Brazil, even Vietnam. But if I were to, be given the option of being stranded on an uninhabited island by myself for a while, and they said you can only bring one coffee brand, or not even a brand, but a coffee style, I would pick the Ethiopian coffee. Ethiopian. I mean, there's a lot of Honduras. I don't know if Honduras makes good coffee. Guatemala makes good coffee. Some islands, Dominican Republic, good coffee. But of course, you know, the big famous one, Colombia. They even had that guy, what was his name? Juan Valdez. He represented the coffee industry. You'd see him on a little donkey going down the mountainside picking coffee by hand. But yeah, wow. We're getting some crepes today, shipped. Yes, they're being delivered as we speak. As I make this video, they're being delivered. Come here for a second. Smell that, tell me what you think of that.
Really good.
It's good? That's rich.
It smells powerful.
Yeah. Wow. But yeah, there's a few places on the planet I'd like to go. I'd like to go to the Congo. And by myself. When you go with people, they start complaining, it's hard, too much walking, too many mosquitoes. Go by myself, and in the jungle, or as they call it now, rainforest, and explore. You go by yourself and you don't have the experience, you may never make it out alive. That's the downside. And then there's a bunch of other countries in Africa that I would like to visit. Egypt sounds interesting to me. Ethiopia, of course. What's that, Ivory Coast area there? I'd like to visit there. And we heard you. And also going to a different part of the world, Ireland. Always wanted to visit, still want to visit Ireland. It just looks so green. And I just like the style of people. You know, they got these little shops there. They all enjoy a nice glass of Guinness. So Ireland is on my list. Of course, the northern countries there, Finland, Sweden, Norway. Like to go visit there, take a walk around, maybe visit the seed vault. That's another nice location there. Uninhabited islands anywhere in the world, I'm game for those. Antarctica, like to go down there, take a walk around. Chile, I like to go there. Like to go to the Andes Mountains. Visit the crash site where, was it the soccer team? I think it was a soccer team. Saw the movie. They had to eat people to survive. They had no choice. Of course, anybody in that circumstance would more than likely do the same if it came to it. If it came to you dying or surviving, you know, hunger is very powerful. It's a powerful motivator. You think you wouldn't do it, but you know, they did it and they thought they wouldn't do it. They survived. So I'd like to visit the Andes Mountains. Hawaii. Been to Hawaii though, so I'd like to go again. Want to visit the volcano. Bring some boots, put them on the lava, watch them burn up. There's another place. But definitely uninhabited islands. Definitely. Get a rowboat, go out there, spend, I don't know, a couple of weeks, maybe 12 days. I'm trying to think. Oh, the most eastern side of Russia, the one that's close to Alaska, that whole area there, it's beautiful. I used to spend a lot of time on Google Earth exploring the eastern side of Russia. The mountains, it's just awesome. I mean, you can't even describe it in words, you have to see it. But I'd like to be dropped off there and allowed to wander. Give me a backpack full of canned food or something, because you're not going to find much there. You'll become the food. Nice big bear, you know, chasing you down. But I'd like to go there. Of course, St. Lawrence Island. the northern part of Alaska. Like to go up there. There's a village there. Like to spend some time there. Oh, and Greenland. Greenland is always on my radar. Greenland, the northern part. I think there's a military base there. Like to take a walk around there for a couple of days. Iceland, a little bit more populated, but that's another beautiful location. Iceland with the volcanoes and the steam vents and the boiling water coming out of the ground. That would be an interesting place to visit. What else is nice? Of course, you know the obvious stuff. European countries, go to Greece, Italy. England would be another place. Scotland, I'd like to visit, have some haggis. India, like to go to India, have some authentic Indian food. I am a big fan of Indian food. Love Indian food. I could have Indian food every day, every single day. So I'm a fan of, you know, like I love all kind of foods, but you know, the ones that I'm more familiar with would be Greek, Indian. Japanese food is fantastic. The Japanese cooks, they're artists. You can't even compare them to anybody. The way they prepare things, the way they cut things, the knives they have. Japanese food, but Indian, Greek, Mexican food I love. Can't get enough of Mexican food. Love tacos, anything Mexican. Big fan of that food. Love the cilantro. I am genetically programmed to enjoy cilantro. I could eat cilantro just on its own, and not just a little bit. I could eat tons of it. Love cilantro. Some people say it tastes like shaving cream. That doesn't bother me. So yeah, Mexican food, that's on my list. Stuff that I love. Think what else is there? You know, I love all the other ones too, but those are my top ones. Oh, soul food. I went to a place one time. I had a friend, he says, let's go down and get some soul food. At that point, never had it before. I knew what it was, like the name. I didn't know what it consisted of, but I knew what it was, and I went in there and he ordered because I didn't know what to get, and I had it, and it was out of this world. Awesome. So that's good stuff. The other stuff, Caribbean food is awesome. I go to Cha-Cha's Chicken. I love Cha-Cha's Chicken. I get it extra spicy, extra hot. Plantains there, rice. Just love it. I could have that every day. And I highly recommend that place out in Santa Monica. So anyway, I'll be back later, but I'm going to go make some of this fresh coffee here. You can't smell it, but just imagine this stuff. And obviously, you know, I understand that smells, flavors, the arts, music, all that, movies, that's all subjective. So I'm just giving my opinion. But for me, this is awesome. And I don't think many people would smell this and say it's awful. Not many. Unless there's something, you know,
Allergic.
Yeah, you're allergic to coffee. Anyway, all right, I'm gonna go make it, and maybe I'll be back tasting it, give my opinion on that. We'll see. All right, I'm back. Fresh coffee, Ethiopian, just made it, and I'm gonna give it a try. Smells good. Delicious. That's good coffee. That is good coffee. I highly recommend this coffee just from one sip. You see a lot of people, they take 3 or 4 sips. I know instantly if something is good or not for me. And this is good. Wow. That's delicious. You wake up to that every morning and you'll be all set. But for some reason, well, we know the soil. Ethiopian coffee is, you know, top-notch coffee. Wow. So if you ever see a place and it says Ethiopian Market on the outside, go in there and ask them for some Ethiopian coffee, but get the bean variety. Don't get it already ground up. want to grind it up in your house, nice and fresh. And don't let it sit around for a couple years. Have it within, a month. Have it within a month. But, I know coffee lasts longer than that, but you see people, I remember when I was a kid, we never had coffee, and we always had a big thing of Maxwell House. And that thing, I don't know, it was like 50 years old. My mother would make that when we had company, but because we didn't drink coffee like that often, it was in there forever. I don't think expiration dates came into play back then. Nobody cared. It's like, it's coffee, who cares? But now you know that the oils in the coffee bean oxidize, and they don't taste right. They become rancid. So you have to drink coffee, and you have to drink it often enough. If you don't, you toss them out, throw them out. You got to get new ones. But you also want to keep it out of direct sunlight and not in a hot, area. You want to keep it in a cool area. Wow, delicious, delicious. That's even, they say good to the last drop for Maxwell House. This is even better than that. The house blend that they say. But you can't do a house blend if the beans are, you got to mix different beans. But yeah, having it out of my Grand Canyon cup. I like when you go on an airplane and you're up at, I don't know, 37, 40,000 feet, and they start rolling out those carts with the coffee, and that coffee smell circulates the area of the airplane. Yeah, it's a nice aroma, fresh coffee. And coffee is good for you. Coffee is good for you. I know they got some weird studies that happened in the 70s, but they didn't take into account that the people in the study were also heavy smokers. So once you eliminate that part of it, then you see the true benefits of coffee. Anyway, that's it. Enjoy your weekend. It'll fly by, just like all the other ones, all the other days, all the other years, all the other decades. It'll fly by. We're time travelers, but at the speed of time. That's it.